All right, everybody, we've got about a minute left before we get started. We're going to ask Yappy, Kino, and Blitz to make their way to the stage. Guys, there is an orange shirt convention happening at the right side of the stage. That means trouble. That means there are board members circulating and coalescing there. That's not a good thing. Never a good thing. Alright guys, we are going to be starting in just a moment. We're just putting another table up here, so another board member is going to be joining us. But we would like for you all to grab a seat. We're going to get started. Because again, we're trying very hard to stay on time. We value your time as much as we hope you value ours. All right. All right, we have our tables up here. All right, guys, we are going to get started. Scooby, if you want to join us up here as well. We need to put an extra table up here and a chair just for you. We would like to welcome, on behalf of the Board of Directors and the staff of Megaplex, we would like to welcome you to 2018's Megaplex Closing Ceremonies. Yay and boo, all at the same time. Before we get started, there are a couple things I want to say to each and every one of you, and that includes our staff, our attendees, and everyone who decided to spend a little time with us. It was March 8th, 2002, when a group of 126 attendees, a group of 126 people, how about this? A group of 126 people got together in a really crappy little hotel on I-Drive to help put together a convention that we hoped would be entertaining, would be fun, and let the furry fandom in Orlando be able to share what it had with the rest of the world. Those 126 people have grown into the group of people that are sitting in this audience, the people on this stage, and via stream, the people that are watching us all over the world. It is with the deepest thanks that we want to say thank you for making Megaplex the world-class event that it has become. Without each and every one of you, it would not be possible. Thank you. We hope to continue becoming a better and better event. We've got some things to talk about that we think made this a great event this year, and then in a little bit we're going to be talking about some things that will hopefully show Megaplex is a bright star on the horizon that will lead you to a better furry fandom and a better furry world. The first thing that we want to do is we want to, again, thank each and every one of you for coming. There were a lot of you. We're going to go over some numbers in just a little bit. But also, we want to thank every dealer who came to the convention, every artist who contributed to our beautiful comic book, every single person who fursuited, who just walked around, who helped make Megaplex a great event. We cannot be a great convention without great attendees. You are more a part of this convention than you will ever know. Thank you all for coming and choosing Megaplex as one of your convention events for the year. We want to thank you for that. We also want to thank each and every staff member. For all of you that are watching, could every staff member please rise so that everyone can see the hardworking members of the Megaplex family. This convention would be or not without each and every one of these hardworking people. They are not paid, they are not compensated. We give them a membership and they work their tails off almost all day long, 24 hours a day for 3 days straight, some of them even longer. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. I'm sure our attendees appreciate it and we all appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys. We also were very blessed and very fortunate to have two wonderful guests of honor, both a performer and an artist. Would Nice the Singing Dog please come up and take a bow center stage? Stay right there, Nice. We were fortunate enough to also have an amazing fursuiter and artist who is our first artist from Mexico to be a guest of honor. Paco Panda, I also owe you a deep apology. I am so sorry that I called you Paco Panther during the charity auction, and I'm really sorry that Tabby drew you with a panther tail. I'm really sorry, but I'm not because it was adorable. So, everyone, a big round of applause for our For those of you that don't know, Paco did the artwork on your badges, your con book, and just a ton of the stuff that was all over the convention. Paco, thank you for your artwork. Again, big round of applause. Our guests of honor for 2018. We also wanted to talk just for a moment about the charity that we were raising money for. Guys, if you want to have a seat, you're more than welcome to. If not, you can just stay there and be cute. Whichever way you want. Hino, did you want to have anything to say? Or Kathy, did you want to have anything to say about the charity? Green.
There we go. Well, as we know, our charity has come back every year since with the inception of Megaplex. And we're going to fire the audio people. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyways, CARE has been our charity of choice every year since we started Megaplex. We have gotten them through hurricane destructions and hungry appetites of carnivorous beasts, of lions and tigers, or bears, or my, or whatever word that is. And every year we've pretty much upped the ante, and this year we fell a little bit shorter than last year, but we're going to work on that. And going forward, from this year moving forward into next year, we may actually bring 2 animal charities in to start, to divide things up, because we've got some interesting changes happening in the course of the next year. And so we're going to be able to even produce even more for charities coming up. But we thank CARE for coming out. They actually brought animals all weekend, so I'm sure some of you got scratched by a monkey, and whatever else happened over there, I don't know. So, check it out.
People got to pet a wolf dog, they got to hug a cotamandi, which is a South American raccoon.
Oh, okay, I heard monkey. But...
Yeah, there was on Friday there was the cotamandi, and for those of you fortunate enough to come to the charity presentation, you got to meet Ginger, the red fox, who was a total sweetheart. She falls asleep and makes yip noises in your arms.
I just liked how she used to just stick her tongue out.
Yeah, I did that too.
So did we have the charity number?
We do. We have the current total, and we are actually going to see if we can improve on it just a little bit in a moment. But you guys have so far raised $10,018.61 for CARE. We did have a stretch goal of $12,000, and we're going to see if we can maybe add a little bit more to this 10. We have some bucket brigaders that are going to go around. If anybody feels like just dumping $1 or $2 or 10 or 100, whatever.
We'd like to beat last year's number. Last year's number was $12,394 or $95. So
yeah, we don't know if we will, but if we can, that would be awesome. Anybody that wants to just donate anything, remember, you're going to help the Care Foundation animals. They have 3 juvenile tigers. And by juvenile, it means they're just still growing. They eat lots and lots of food every day, and it's expensive. We're trying to help them offset those costs. So that would be really awesome. As far as charity goes, there's one other thing that we would be remiss if we did not mention. There was a gentleman that was here. He was planning to help us all weekend. He got called away on a work emergency late last night and had to fly out at 7 in the morning to try to save some work and money for his business or for the company that he works for. So he had to leave. Alkali was instrumental in helping to raise quite a bit of money, and he was planning on being here today, but he just couldn't. Big round of applause for Alkali. He said he's coming back. Unfortunately, life intruded, and the real world intruded on our little furry world. We had to take care of things. So that's stuff that we had for care, and we're going to see if we can maybe add a little bit more money to that. We did have a couple of touch points. There's some videos and some things that we're going to show you. Brace Bear was kind enough to create a little puppetry video, and we're going to see if we can show that to you really quickly. So if we can cue up Brace's video.
And this was performers that are in the audience probably. It was recorded here in a puppetry panel, so this is from some of you that are out there in the audience.
So let's take a look and see what we got. I picked this song for a reason. This is the greatest show. All of you, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for putting this on. Let's keep going, right? So the next thing we want to do is kind of acknowledge something that has become very close to Megaplex. There are staff members from many conventions that help us. There's one convention in particular that we have developed a very special bond with. Brazil Fur Fest, a convention in South America, has forged such a bond with us that their chairman is one of our staffers. And we actually have their flag flying under the Doubletrees flag in front of this hotel, right next to the Megaplex flag, which is flying under the Florida state flag. Danny, as the chairman of Brazil Fur Fest, can you come up for just a quick second? We're going to do a little thing with our flags.
This South American way.
Okay. So, we're going to do a slight presentation with the flags. Yep. So there is the Brazil flag and the Megaplex flag coming up. Guys, we want to acknowledge that the furry fandom is universal. The furry fandom is international. And all of us like to work together to show the furry fandom with no borders. Ladies and gentlemen, the friendship between the United States and Brazil, between Megaplex and Brazil Fur Fest, stronger than ever, and we encourage every furry convention, keep working towards a better fandom with no borders. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you, Brazil Fur Fest. Big round of applause for Brazil Fur Fest. In fact, while they're sitting down, they gave us a little video of their own. They have a video that they call Brazil Fur Fest in 90 seconds. Oh, 45 seconds. They're even faster than that. Can we run that video real quick? Brazil Fur Fest in 45 seconds. We promise you, if you go to visit Brazil Fur Fest, the convention doesn't go that quick. Promise. So we're going to talk about a few numbers. And we've already told you we had over $10,000 raised for care. We're going to be getting a new number with the money that you just started putting in the Bucket Brigade. Blitz, do you want to go over how many people we had in the fursuit parade this year, just so people remember?
Yeah, if any of you guys were here on Saturday when we had the fursuit parade, and luckily we actually had one this year comparative to the rain from last year, but our parade total out yesterday was 468 fursuiters.
That's our biggest parade number yet. And I think commensurate with that number, Hino, would you like to tell people just how many of these fluffy folks were here this weekend? Do you have that number? Or does Scooby have that number?
I got the number.
Scooby, oh, Gabby has that number. How many people were here this week?
How long have I been working, Reg?
Well, I didn't know if you had.
Anyways, I'd like to actually bring the house lights up. I want to ask a few questions first.
Okay.
Because I want to see how this is working in comparison. So if we get somebody's going to get house lights up.
And turn the house lights up real fast.
Right.
They're working on it. This is something we threw out of last second.
Yeah, I know we have fewer light bulbs that work in the ceiling. And you notice the dance finances have knocked a lot of light bulbs out of me. So, a question. How many of you waited in line, reg line, for more than 20 minutes? Okay.
I don't see many hands, if any.
Okay, 15 minutes? 15 minutes?
One hand I see.
Okay, 10 minutes? So then anything under 5 minutes? Now, I can't say that for many, I'm sure some of you have waited in some 3-hour lines for reg, so.
Are we doing okay?
I'm hoping we are working for you to keep the songs that like Pepper and Fox and Moore sang about the reg line drama. I hope we're good for that. Because with that, we did have some growth this year of about 5%. And our final number this year is 2,602.
Megaplex 1 had 126 attendees. I don't want to know how many 1,000% growth that is, but that's scary. All right, so, or how many 100% growth, I don't know, something like that. My brain doesn't work. I hit my head, I have a bruise, so that my brain doesn't work. So, we have that, and Blitz, there's also an achievement for closing ceremonies, is there not?
Yes, there's the last achievement to give out this convention. It's currently underneath one of you guys out in the audience, so check under your chairs for the moment.
Somebody got it! Who's got it?
Hold it up if you found it. Yeah, there you go.
There it is, the final achievement. We hope you guys like the achievements. It's kind of a fun way that Blitz came up with for having the staff interact with the attendees, a way for us to be very playful and fun. And I found it really funny that Blitz chose Kakatikoku, the god of silliness, to be the totem on the achievement. So you all that got them have some silliness in your life forever. So with that, those are most of the major pieces of information that we have from this year. Before we go into 2019, Scooby, was there anything that you wanted to bring up?
Well, I'm sure my assistant director here, Mr. Night Panther, who spends most of his day up in the concert along with
But this is kind of funny because he went in there and he did an impulse buy. He did an impulse buy at Lemon Brat and bought his very first fursuit, which I almost forgot about because about 5 minutes after you, I bought a fursuit from him.
How many do you have, Yappy?
I don't know if that's count, but it just impulse buyed, and so I know how that goes.
So these two gentlemen spent their entire con weekend feeding you people, and they would like to know how their service was and how the food struck up to last year. So,
for those that are not aware, we're going to make sure people are aware of this. The sponsor suite, it is actually for sponsor level and up. So the folks that are sponsors, super sponsors, and also staff were able to take advantage of nibbles up there. And you had like pepperoni pinwheels that I didn't have a chance to get because everybody's starving before I could get up there. Pizza pinwheels. Yep. Yep, there's a microphone for you. Among other things, they also did Hawaiian sliders and all kinds of fun stuff up there. I got one of those. Go ahead. Yes.
I do hope everyone who enjoyed the sponsor suite enjoyed it, very much. We're going to hopefully have even better things next year as well, too, is the plan. But yeah, this year we were aiming for all homemade sauces, homemade sandwiches, wraps, whether they're, I put a lot of effort into it, or actually we both did here, and it was just, hopefully it was a wonderful time serving you all as well. Whether they're homemade cookies, fudge as well, too. That's always got the proper sweets. Whether they're, we had Hawaiian sliders, pizza wraps, and all sorts of other stuff in between as well too. So, and we always were trying to have a nice fresh salad buffet as well too. Keep you good noms in there, keep you healthy and going through without too much junk food. That's all right.
This gentleman right here never left the suite. He was there from 7:30 a.m. until 10 o'clock at night, every night, if not later, to make sure you guys had a great meal.
That is a perfect first voice.
is it Aston Martin?
Aston as your name?
Just, okay.
Well, we'll discuss later. But so you guys were happy with the sponsor suite stuff? Yeah! Should we bring it back next year? Yeah! Bring it back? Yeah! That didn't sound enthusiastic. Gonna bring it back? Yeah! All right.
Okay, now I have a question for you all now. How many of y'all have come to the dances in the last few nights that we've been here? Okay, now this past year we put a lot of money and investment and other stuff into the dances. How was the thump with all the light bulbs burned out? How was the sound of the ears? How was the fact that you guys managed to move this dance floor 6 feet
That way.
So
we had to add another row just for dance comp. Or floors.
So,
So don't miss the Dead Dogs tonight. We're still going to keep thumping it tonight.
I also want to say a big thank you to our DJs. They worked really hard to give you guys some fantastic things. All right. Before we go over stuff for 2019, with our board up here, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? No? Okay. So, Hino, we have some changes afoot for 2019. Very large changes, actually, some very special changes. So, before we talk about the convention itself, the parent company and the board of directors is also going to undergo a small shift. Bark. So when Megaplex was first incorporated, we actually did so very quickly. Yappy and I were there. We're the only two remaining founders that are left on the board of directors. And when we did so, we had to do so as a Class C for-profit corporation. And Megaplex has continued to be that, even though we run as a not-for-profit. We basically try to spend every penny and put it into the con every year to make sure everything is okay and that we're doing the best we can. We are going to change that. From now on, starting next year, there will no longer be a Pophead Live Experiences or Plex Inc. running Megaplex. The new parent company is Florida United Furry Fandom Incorporated. We will be, our parent company will be Fluff Inc. The board of directors chose that name because we wanted to reflect the fact that we are a statewide event. We very much value everything that everyone from Tallahassee and Pensacola all the way down to Miami and every point in between have to offer and bring to the table to show the world that Florida has a vibrant and dynamic furry community that has a special voice, and we love being your showcase.
And you know, there's, you know, you mentioned we've worked as a non-profit, or well, we've been a for-profit corporation, but we've kind of worked like a non-profit.
Yep.
And after this year, that's going to be changing as well. Florida United Furry Fandom is actually going to be a 501c3 corporation.
Which means that when you sponsor and super sponsor, you can deduct that if Trump doesn't trump us. But until then...
If you can itemize, it is something you can itemize on your taxes as a tax deduction. So that's a change. And there are other changes, and that's going to impact charity stuff as well. Along with that change, there's going to be a small shift on the board of directors. As we have aged, it has been my pleasure and my honor to serve on the Megaplex board of directors for 17 years. I'm going to relinquish my position, thank you. I'm going to relinquish my position on the board of directors in honor of to someone who has worked very hard and has the best interest of this convention at heart as well. I'm getting to a point from a health perspective and some other personal things. I don't have the ability right now to devote the time to be able to do things on a corporate level that we need to. So everybody, I'd like you to give a big round of applause to Megaplex's newest board member, Blitz. staff member has worked very hard. And every staff member here, no matter what their role, works very hard. Blitz has been in charge of programming, in charge of theming, and doing some general operational things all at the same time. I know of no staff member who has matured more in the last few years or shown more heart to Megaplex than Blitz. Blitz, my seat could not be filled by a better person. Thank you. So this is going to be the newest board member, Sucker!
Now that I'm all teary-eyed, I've got to say, KP, we've worked as a team for a long time. Stick around for us, please.
I am not planning to leave staff. I'm still going to be an assistant director. As Yappy is kind of getting teary-eyed, the reason is, and I'll share this on a light level with you guys, I do have some very serious health concerns that have been kind of controlling me for a while. I actually felt for the first time this morning, I woke up without pain. You guys are part of that. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to take care of myself so that I can be around, but Yappy, it was been my honor, and for the last remaining founder, please stick around on board with the stand as well. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. We just found out that our new grand total for the charity is $10,801.88. Thank you guys so much. You guys are generous to a fault. We really appreciate it. So as we're getting all misty-eyed and choked up and everything, let's move on to something a little more positive. And these are positive changes, but we have had some questions about hotel venue.
Quite a few.
So, what did you guys think of how things ran this year in the hotel? A bit better than last year? A bit better? So, for those of you that know, Hino did a podcast, but Hino, we kind of have had many conversations. There are a lot of things that go into deciding what to do about a hotel specifically in Orlando. Because Orlando is not your typical market when it comes to putting a convention together. There's a lot of things we got to consider.
Obviously, location's a big one. There's a lot of hotels that are actually we're not able to work with, either because they're related to one of the parks. Obviously, a lot of them want to keep their brand and their characters in the forefront. And we pretty much are, what was the term that complimentary?
Yeah, for those that weren't at the chairman roundtable, like horror stories thing last night, Megaplex a couple of years ago got a solicitation from the Swan and Dolphin Resort on Disney property. Yeah, when they had just finished renovating, they sent the Megaplex Anthropomorphic Convention a flyer that said, hey, we just finished renovations and we would love to host your event. And here are some of the things we can give you. A complimentary alcohol reception. Got our attention really fast. Because they had just renovated the bar. They could offer us a specific rate, which is a little higher than we were willing to go for our attendees. But they were ticking everything down. The very last thing that they said was complimentary character appearances. And I looked at that and I called Yappy and Hino and I showed them that and I was like, do they really know who we are? We are complimentary character appearances.
So obviously, the other things we look at is we want to get you guys, one, the best rooms that we can find, two, the best rate that we can get you, and three, the best convention space.
Yeah, and when it comes to rate, a lot of people have asked, why are we in the heat of summer? Because it is hot outside. We know it's hot outside. Orlando has only 3 months that are considered off-peak for convention space. June, July, and August. That's it. So unless we want to sit right on top of Anthrocon, or like on Biggest Little FurCon, we're kind of stuck with August. It is not something that we just pick and say, hey, we're doing it because we want to. We kind of are locked into it. There are a few other weekends throughout the year, like Christmas weekend.
And I'm curious, so if we were to move outside of this, how many of you would be willing to pay $225 a night? I see 5 hands.
We're still looking at options, but right now the summertime is kind of where we're locked just because of price. We're trying to keep things low for you, and I think we found something. You know, we listen to your feedback a lot. Hino and I, we actually live really close to each other. He's 1 house over from me. He's 2 houses over. He bought a house on my street, and we talk a lot about things, and we listen to your feedback, and we went over things that a lot of our previous hotels had that people liked. Like, some people like the Marriott's pool.
Some people like the Embassy Suites.
There's some people that liked this hotel's convention space because it's now pushed closer together. So it's all, the dealer's room is close to the main ballroom. Some people like the price. You guys okay with our hotel prices?
Well, the much reduced price we got this year, too.
The hotel messed up, so they had to drop it. Just we listen to all of that, and
I think we came up with something that you guys are going to like much better.
It hits about 90% of all the things we just talked about.
So can we show well, first,
yeah,
let's show the theme video.
Over here.
Right over here.
Actually, come on up here, everybody. One of our guests of honor for next year, JD Puppy. One of you, JD. You want to tell everybody a little bit about fuzzy logic and what you have to do with escape rooms?
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully I won't. Oh my gosh, I've got the magic mic. Awesome. So, really excited to be part of Megaplex's The Greatest Escape here in 2019. I'm so excited. Hopefully I'll see many of you next year. Who here has played an escape room before? Yeah. Wow, that is a lot of hands. And who here has been to a fuzzy logic escape room at a con before? Okay, well hopefully we change that next year with a lot more hands next year. Escape rooms are a really fun game of puzzles, blocks, clues, riddles, where you work together with your team of friends, family, whoever, to be able to accomplish a specific goal.
Yeah, I think likes to pick locks.
Yeah, you can pick locks. The way that I like to put it, it's like playing a game, a video game in real life that takes you out of the screen and into the world of the escape room itself. So, hopefully, all of you will be able to have a chance to experience an escape room next year, right here at Megaplex, well maybe not right here, which we'll get to in a little bit, but at Megaplex, as part of your overall experience at Megaplex 2019, The Greatest Escape. Thanks, guys.
We are working, well, we have a prospect for a second guest of honor. However, there are a few things that have made them unable to confirm at this time. We will be announcing it closer to Christmas.
So keep an eye on the website for that. If this comes to fruition, and we're very hopeful, this is looking very positive, we think everyone in the audience will be very pleased. This is something pretty big, so we're excited. And with that, we are moving to a new venue. As good as the DoubleTree has been and as delicious as the cookies are, we are going to be moving to a new hotel next year. We are now confirming that is going to happen. And we have a little bitty video that's been put together to show you a little bit of just exactly what you can expect in 2019. Guys, please roll the hotel video. Our host venue for next year is the Carib Royale Resort, which is just outside of Lake Buena Vista. It's right down the road from Walt Disney World and the Crossroads Restaurant Complex. This hotel has a little bit of it all.
Yeah, so we know you guys really like the suites. Every room in this hotel is a suite.
A 2-room suite at a minimum, unless you want to host parties.
Then they have a set of villas that have king bed, double queen bed, and a pull-out couch, as well as a kitchen with a stove and oven.
If you do not get those particular big villas, every 2-room suite will have a fold-out couch in the living room, a microwave oven, a refrigerator, as well as either a king or double queen room. All of our rooms, this particular hotel, if you notice, has 3 towers of rooms. They're not spread out like a lot of bungalows like this hotel. Everything is consolidated in 3 towers. We have contracted for a minimum of 1 tower with the option for a second. So all of Tower 2, I believe it is. Tower 2 will be Megaplex attendees only.
In these towers, all the rooms open up to the inside air-conditioned hallways.
Now, the convention space is a short walk from Tower 2. We actually had it walk. With my help, I was able to walk it in about 100 seconds. An average person can walk from the door of Tower 2 to the porte cochere and doors of the convention center in approximately 25 to 30 seconds. Under a covered walkway and covered porte cochere, you can actually drive people right up to the door if you feel like it.
And the most important part is the convention space is all together.
I'm not going to say that this building has all the space we will ever need, because that dooms us immediately. However, the space that we have contracted is so much larger than what we have now. Next year, we plan to have a zoo, our very own social space within the pond space. In addition to all of our panel rooms and a dealer's room that's going to be larger than the dealer's room we have now. We grew this year, but it's going to be even bigger next year.
And a separate, larger artist alley.
So that just talks about like the con space and the hotel rooms. I mentioned the pool. This particular hotel has a pool that has a waterfall and water slide attached to it. A poolside bar, which is open almost all the time. And in the lobby, you saw how pretty that like Mediterranean style lobby is? In the lobby is a steakhouse that is one of Orlando's only 4 diamond restaurants. So you can go to the Venetian Steakhouse and Chop Shop if you really want to. The rest of the restaurant is not 4 diamond, however, that part is.
And for those of you who want a late night snack or are more on the price range of a sandwich or salad, they have a 24/7 cafe.
As well as a coffee shop in the bottom of Tower 2. We're the only tower that's going to have the coffee shop. You can go right down there and grab coffee and then get going. It's also a short drive away from the Crossroads Restaurant Complex right outside Disney. And if you feel like going to Morimoto's or Wolfgang Puck's, it's also just a short drive from Disney Springs. If you're planning on making this part of a holiday, Disney Springs is pretty close to Epcot, and there are shuttles that go to all 4 of the Disney theme parks. They are right down the road, so this is going to be an interesting fit for us.
And I think the thing that everyone's wondering is what the room rate is going to be, right? Yeah! So, given these are all suites, the regular tower suites will be $119, and the villas will be $219.
So we think we got a good price. We think we got a good hotel. We think we got good con space, good pool, good restaurant in the hotel, nice venue, and most importantly, a staff that cannot wait to see us. Just to give you guys an idea, I've taken a few people on some tours. The convention center had closed down and actually locked it all up. I went and kind of introduced myself and let them know what we were doing. The security guard said, "Oh, you need to see the event space? Here." And he just opened the door and he said, "Just let yourself out when you're done." I was like, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Yeah, we want you guys' business." That's the kind of hotel this is. Oh, there's one other thing. Parking.
So the entire hotel is encircled in a very large parking lot. And if for some reason we manage to fill that, there is a sister hotel to this hotel on site that we will use for overflow parking.
It's all paved. No parking out in the field. It's all paved. So they're both owned by the same company. The hotel is beautiful. If you can get a chance to see the Caribe Royale, we'll take some people down there at some point. It's really good.
Also, as a side note, if you guys liked Embassy Suites from a couple years ago, same owners run this hotel chain.
So we think we picked we think we got something that you guys are going to like. We're hoping that this will make Megaplex and continue to make it your favorite destination convention. For those of you that travel in from out of town, if you're planning to do a theme park vacation, they work with theme parks too to help you get tickets and whatnot. So we're doing our best to make sure this is a convention that you want to travel to. We're doing our best to make sure the convention is fun, that the venue continues to improve, and we're just doing our best to make sure you guys are having a good time. Are you having a good time?
So we hope to see you all next year, but I think it's time.
It is time. For those of you that have never been with us before, if you'll take a look, stage left.
Hold on, one thing.
Oh, there's one other thing?
One thing that we forgot to mention in stage right. For those of you who have used our ride share and room share on our website, you'll notice, or you will have noticed this year that we removed it. We're actually redoing the website currently, so we don't have the new theme up there yet, but we do have the survey posted. I believe it's survey.megaplexcon.org. So if you please can give us any recommendations, anything,
constructive
criticism, it would be very much appreciated. But we will be coming out with a whole new website. We have moved our room and ride share to Telegram. It is on the Telegram link on our website. We actually have 3 different chats right now: a commissions chat, a room and ride share chat run by Miss Strawberry, and of course the general PG-13 chat. Well, safe for work chat.
All right. Before Blitz brings it out, guys on the stage, anything else? Nope. All right. So if you guys will look stage right to your left, back where the staff is, there's a series of posters Every one represents a year of Megaplex history. You can see there are 16 of them. This year, I think, has been our best convention yet. Certainly one of my favorites. However, all good things must come to an end. Blitz, if you will, it is unfortunately my sad responsibility to inform you, Megaplex 17 is now closed. Everybody, thanks for spending a weekend with us. We really appreciate you choosing us. We hope to see all of you next year. Thanks, everybody.